So we had about 5 minutes to journal on this prompt. Please reflect in the present tense about a moment in your childhood or adulthood when you were made aware of your race. Would anyone like to begin and share some serial testimony?
Well, yeah, I remember a time when I was in an elevator with my two sons, and I'm pretty fair skinned, and my sons are pretty dark skinned. And there was a little boy who ran to get into the elevator, and just as he turned the corner, his mother noticed that we were in the elevator, and she pulled him back and said, "No, no, don't get in the elevator." And the elevator door closed, and my sons and I looked at each other like, "What just happened?" Yeah, it was very jarring experience.
It's interesting, Carla, with your story. I just was thinking about, it's not the experience for your kids, and just as a parent, and seeing your kids become aware of their race and how and the impact that society has on that, and just the challenges of what that feels like as a parent, that you can't protect them against that.
And the feeling really kind of shame, like the shame that we felt, like that we weren't good enough for a little white kid to get into the elevator with us. That kind of lingered throughout the day, throughout the trip, really. Just kind of affected us all.
Yeah, I mean, I guess reflecting on your experience and reflecting on my experience, right? I mean, in Africa, I could be popular and curious, right? People wanted to connect or find out about me, or and then as opposed to reject me or be afraid of me, or I was not a fear object. I was not,
Mm-hmm.
So that is really, really, like, maybe I was aware of my race, but it really was a different.
Were you like aware of the privilege?
That's a really good question. I don't know about. I mean, I guess I felt welcomed in a certain way, and like people were interested in me. So it was sort of part of the privilege I was probably used to already, right? As opposed to being an object of fear or concern or avoidance. So I was aware of my race, but in a really different way than you were aware of your race.
Yeah, so we're going to start off by sharing for a minute each in serial testimony. Who would like to begin?
Something I've been thinking a lot about is the way in which our teaching faculty does not reflect the students in our classrooms, in terms of language, in terms of race, sometimes in terms of class. And I feel like that's something that as a district we really need to dedicate ourselves to, making sure that we represent the families and the children whom we teach.
And in the meantime, creating space for those of us in the district who are teaching or administering or working with kids to reflect from our own view and think about, are we welcoming, are we taking time to really listen to and understand our students and their families from coming from different backgrounds.
So let's go ahead and shift to crosstalk, open discussion about the same prompt.
Well, I guess that brings me to just what we've been doing, which I think has taught me a lot, both about how I think about things, but how other people who, all of you who come to this, reflect on things differently or the same, or where the overlap is and the differences. So I think just our conversations are actually really powerful.
Just thinking about the importance of looking for opportunities to give kids a sense of belonging, and just thinking about like which are the kids who innately are going to feel that, and which are the kids that we need to go out of our way to make sure that they feel that. And I was thinking about, I had a student last year who had nominated and won one of the African American Regional Educational Alliance Awards, and went to the big award ceremony. It's this amazing, really beautifully put on ceremony with great speakers. And when I was talking to him about it on Monday, his commentary was just like, I've never been in a room with so many Black people before. He was like, it was so cool. You know, and I just think about that, you know, that feeling of like feeling like you are alone in a room, and just what can we be doing in our district to make sure that kids feel that sense of connectedness and belonging. Just seems like we need to be going out of our way to create those opportunities for kids.
Well, tying back to the reading, just thinking of that boy in particular and all the other students who have that feeling at school of here I am the one of my identity, or one of one part of my identity, and the stress, really, you know, the stress that creates of reading from Whistling Follies. But that's stressful in and of itself. And how can we make some shifts to make that less stressful, or to support that student around that stress that's going to be there?
And I do want to say that, you know, that issue of stress and trauma are things that are invisible. And I think that we have to be the ones who look for that. And even if you don't exactly know what it is, there are signs that we can recognize of stress and trauma. And they might not even realize that's what they're experiencing, but they are.
I was just saying, well, I guess I was more thinking on the experience of second language learners and just how they are, as far as in the high school, where they're stuck in a classroom where they don't understand anything, and they're just there because they need the credits. So, I don't know, I would like to see some change based on that, like, as far as, like, just giving them a translator and having, like, just making them feel like that they belong and just that they are learning, and then they're just not just like filling in